Yo, what's up, guys? So today I'm gonna be showcasing you basically Infernoble before Phantom Nightmare. I will release more stuff when the Phantom Nightmare stuff comes out, but I wanted to kind of make an early draft of the deck before Phantom Nightmare comes out, so I can play at the regional level, in January, right? Because in January, before Phantom Nightmare comes out, we still don't have Promethean Princess and all that good stuff. So I figured I would still want to play that. So me and my coach, Gianfranco, we got on a call and we kind of cooked the goo together. Basically, what is one of the ways to play Infernoble, basically post the new ban list, right? With Isolde getting banned. So basically, what we figured out was how to play the deck, and one of the things we looked into was the super heavy stuff, right? Basically, I'll show you guys a deck list at the end of the video, but the super heavy cards are basically more wanted engines. Like, it's basically full Infernoble combo, and we were able to figure out how. So let's get started. Let's get right into the video, guys. But huge shout outs to my coach for working with me on this. I think we definitely came together and collaborated really well to come up with to present you guys what we have at the moment. Okay. So definitely go check him out in the YouTube in the comment section description box below. All right, but let's jump into the video. Okay, so you go Wakashi effect, and then we're gonna get Benkei. We're gonna use Benkei effect to get Soul Horns. Soul Horn is gonna equip to the Wakashi, special summon itself off its own effect. And then here we're gonna go Chainlink 1 Angelica and Chainlink to Wakashi. So chain blocking Angelica here is kind of clean by Ash Blossom. Then we can activate the effect of Museum. We're going to search Almace. Then Almace effect will equip Durendo. Then Durendo effect to get Ogier. The reason why we do it this way is because we want to facilitate our graveyard with more equips so that Magus has something to shuffle. And if you have access to Gearfried, you're going to need to banish one of these equips, and you will need one. You would still need one in the graveyard for Emperor Charles at the end. So putting two in the graveyard is actually really, really good. Then we're going to go and, so you have an option here. You can Pendulum Summon Ogier or Normal Summon Ogier. I think if your hand has access to Ricardetto, like any extra extender, you would prefer to pen summon the Ogier and then use your normal summon to like a Ricardetto or something along those lines. So that's something to be cautious of as you're freestyling the deck, that you decide whether or not you want to commit the pen summon or to commit the normal here. Typically, if you have extra extenders in your hand that are level 1s, because you can only pen between level 2 and 7, you want to keep extra extenders like the level 1 extenders in the hand. So something to keep in mind. We're then going to summon Ogier. Ogier effect is going to send Turpin. We're then going to use Turpin's effect to target the Angelica, chain the Angelica, summon Captain Roland, and then send Gearfried. Okay. This part is going to get pretty wild, so definitely pay attention. We're then going to use the Ogier and going to use the Captain Roland to make Emperor Charles. We're then going to use the Captain Roland to equip to the Charles so that we can make the Link 1 into the Emperor Charles the Great, right? We're going to use the effect of Emperor Charles the Great to equip the Emperor Infernoble Knight Charles. And then, because we have an equip card on the field equipped to equip monster, we're going to be able to special summon Turpin off of its own effect. We then can equip the Ogier to the Turpin and then declare the effect of the effect of Museum to summon the Ogier. And if you read the last effect of Museum, because we activated this effect while we control Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles, we actually are not locked into warrior monsters. And this effect is going to be really, really important. We're going to overlay both of these into a Dempsey. This card is definitely not cuttable. It's still really, really good even without Isolde. And we're going to use the effect to search the Renaud, okay? We're going to special summon the Renaud and then use its effect to add Gearfried back from the graveyard back to her hand. And then we're going to use Dempsey and the Renaud in order to make an IP Masquerena, because like I mentioned before, we are not locked into warrior monsters at all, because when we declared the effect to summon from the Spell and Trap Zone, there was an Emperor Charles on the field. We then can activate the effect of Gearfried to banish the Durendal, and as you can see, we keep an extra. That's why we went Almace into Durendal, because you want to keep an extra equip card in the graveyard so that Emperor Charles the Great can equip one at end phase off its end phase effect, right? So here we're going to go to end phase. We're going to use the Emperor Charles the Great in order to equip the Almace and equip Magus. We're then going to trigger the Emperor Charles to pop the own Magus so that we free a Spell and Trap Zone for the Captain Roland. and then trigger the effect to shuffle back our Renaud, our Turpin, and our Durendal for follow-up. Draw a random card, and then we bring back Angelica, right? So on our opponent's turn, we have a pop off of Charles, a Spell Trap negate, a Gearfried Monster negate, an IP Masquerena with the Angelica into an SP Little Knight, and then SP Little Knight's second effect to also banish of your opponent. So it's like basically 5 interactions off of like a 1-card combo, right? And you have a lot of recovery. You have a draw off the Magus, you have Museum, you have the Wakashi Pen Scales, right? So you have a lot of follow-up and recovery for next turn as well. You have the All Mace equipping to the Charles, so if they out your board, you can use All Mace to add back the Ogier for next turn. So a lot of recovery, a lot of like nice plays for the next turn. And that's all pretty much a 1-card combo. So now what does a 2-card combo look like, right? So let me show you. So a 2-card combo is, let's say you open Connector plus like Bike, right? You can go something like normal summon Connector, summon Dolphin. Dolphin, pitch, look at their hand, look at the Droll, look at the Ash Blossom, take those cards out. And here you're able to go like do the same play with Wakashi, right? Get Soul Horn, special summon Soul Horn, get access to Angelica, get Museum. Now you can go effective Museum, add the Durendal, add All Mace first because we want to put Equips in the grave. Then pitch the Durendal. And here we haven't pen summoned yet, so we can pen summon Ogier. Use Ogier to send Turpin. Turpin target Angelica, tag it out into Captain Roland. Captain Roland will then, Angelica will then Foolish the Gearfried. Here, we're then going to overlay the Ogier and the Connector in order to make a Dempsey. Dempsey will add you the Renaud. We're going to use both of them in order to make IP Masquerena in the top. Special summon the Renaud. That will add back you Gearfried. Special the Gearfried. Equip the Ogier. Use the field spell to summon the Ogier. Use both of those to then summon back the Turpin. Oh, wait. So we're going to not use the field spell yet. Apologies. Sorry. We're going to equip the Ogier and then use the Turpin to summon back itself. And then we make the Synchro 9. And then we make the Link 1. And then we equip the Charles. And then we activate Museum to summon the Charles. And then here we're going to make the Baron the Fleur. And the Ogier is equipped to the Gearfried. Sorry. Just for clarity's sake. And so now you have like IP Masquerena with Baron, with Gearfried, and the Emperor Charles. And then at end phase, you would equip back the Durendal, as you can see. And then the Malgus. Malgus will destroy itself and then put back the Turpin, the All Mace. And then you would put back, like, let's say, like Renaud, for example, right? So that you have follow-up for next turn as well. And this is like, this board is like a lot of interactions. You have a Monster Negate, Omni Negate, Spell Trap Negate, a Pop, an SP Banish, and another Little Knight, right? So, and you rip the card out of your opponent's hand, presumably. So this is like really, really strong as well, right? So the thing is, the deck is definitely going to become more freestyle in like the up with the way the new list works. And I can kind of show you guys what the list currently looks like. So this is kind of what the list currently looks like. Like I said, this is before Phantom Nightmare, so it's still in the current like after the post ban list stuff. This is what it currently looks like. So as you can see, you play like the Wakashi engine, basically like more copies. It's like another wanted engine almost is a way to look at it. And then you play like the 2 equips, the Durendal and the All Mace. You have the 3 wanted for the Diablo Star and the original Sinful Spoils, because this stuff allows you to get access to level 1 tuners, or if you have a level 4 Fire Warrior, it allows you to pretty much make an Angelica or Captain Roland by itself, which is really, really strong. If you have extra extenders, one of the cool applications is that you can use the Witch plus like a level 1 tuner to make like Axel to bring back like, let's say, a Bike, and then that allows you to make like the Baron, or you can go into like Axel into an Emperor Charles as well. That can definitely come up, something to be on the lookout for as well. And yeah, so Triple Heritage, Triple Museum, Nothing to Change, Rhoda. The Neospace Connector stuff can definitely be cut if you want to play like other Infernoble Knights, but I think it's still really good at combating cards like Droll, because a lot of people might main deck Droll next format. So Connector is like really, really good there at just answering hand traps and making sure that the deck still has that like power and sealing when it goes first, right? So Connector is definitely insane for that reason. So no reason to not play it. You have Ogier, Turpin, Oliver, Magus, Renaud, Ricardetto, Gearfried. 9 non-engine at the moment, but you can easily pay 45 with 12 non-engine, right? Which is what I did in the past. Diablo Star and then the Seikdai. One of the things I wanted to talk about was also like Joyce. I think Joyce is nice, but you can definitely get away without playing it now, especially without access to sort of like Isolde. And then the other thing I also want to talk about is like Angelica's Ring. I know this is something that like people want to talk about, but I think this is a card that you can easily side deck if your opponent plays cards like Super Poly, anything along those lines. And the main reason why is because you can play like, for example, Angelica, when it tags out, can tags out into a Roland from the deck or extra deck. So this is a Roland that is from the main deck that you can summon. And the reason why this card is really nice is because of the fact that you can you can tag out Angelica into Roland, use any extender to make Captain Roland, and then use Captain Roland's effect to send the Angelica's Ring, and then that's how you get access to Angelica's Ring off the Emperor Charles at end phase. Or you can also play like Bradamante, and if you have any extra extender, you can use Bradamante to equip the Angelica's Ring to basically one of your Noble Knight monsters that has an equip, and then gain access to Angelica's Ring that way, right? So these are like the main ways to do it. You can also look into playing Snatch Steal. I think it's like a fine going second card, essentially, because it's like an equip. It can be recycled. It's like a pretty solid going second card. So that's something to definitely consider. The Link 3 is obviously going to be really busted. Definitely going to be included in the deck when the stuff comes out. But I think at the moment, I haven't really figured that out yet post Phantom Nightmare. I've been mainly working on the deck for the regional scene in January, and that's why I wanted to kind of showcase this at the moment for you guys, right? So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the combos that I showed off. And huge shout out to my boy Gianfranco for working with me on this. And yeah, let me know if you guys also want to see more Noble Knight stuff, especially for post Phantom Nightmare. I think the deck is definitely still alive and viable if you guys are still interested in playing the deck. It might not be the best deck by far, but I do think that it is a viable strategy to still play if you enjoy playing this deck as much as I do as well. So hope you guys enjoy the video, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.